tonight we're going to see one more. We have one more missionary video. It's a young lady that used to go to church here. In fact, Janel was her name at the time. She graduated from Clearwater Christian College, and she came here and she actually worked as a school teacher in our school for a number of years, did a great job, and then God called her onto the mission field. I think initially she served in South America, and then now she is in the continent of Africa. While she's there, she met a national and married him. So her name is now Janel Diatta, or Janel Diatta. And so tonight, Pastor asked that we give the missionaries get video, give a little message and an update. Well, Janel, like she didn't feel comfortable, like, in a sense, giving a message. So what you're going to see, I think, at the start of the video is her husband giving a devotion. Young man that she married. And I think, if I understand right, she's going to translate for him. So this ought to be very interesting. I do not know what language it's going to be, but she's going to share that and then share a little bit of what's going on in her ministry in Africa. So we're going to watch that right now.
Dans cet encouragement qui nous encourage à faire son travail, vit sa présence.
In this encouragement, we see that he is present with us.
C'est de cette façon aussi que nous vous interpellons aussi à nous aider aussi dans vos prières.
And we are asking you also to be present with us in your prayers.
Parce que c'est un combat.
Because we're in a combat.
Et le soldat qui est dans le terrain de combat a besoin des autres qui vont l'envoyer des munitions.
The soldiers who are in combat need those behind them to send them the munitions, the weapons, the arms.
Donc, c'est de cette façon que nous vous interpellons aussi.
And so we are asking you to do the same thing with your prayers.
Ceux-là qui sont parmi vous, qui veulent aller au terrain de combat,
those among you who feel called to go also join the combat.
Le terrain est vaste.
The field is large.
Et le Seigneur vous interpelle aussi.
And the Lord is calling you as well.
Car le monde est plein de non-chrétiens.
The world is full of those who are not Christians.
Voilà, c'est ça l'exhortation que j'aimerais vous donner, partager avec vous ce matin.
This is the little message that I wanted to share with you this morning.
Que le Seigneur vous encourage et vous fortifie.
That the Lord would encourage you and strengthen you.
Même n'étant pas sur le terrain de combat, mais continuez de prier et encourager ceux-là qui sont au terrain.
Even if you're not on the field of combat, that you would support those who are with your prayers.
Nous sommes tous une même équipe.
We are all on the same team.
Et vu ce message, mon ministère que je fais ici à Cabrousse.
And in light of this message, I want to share my ministry with you here in Cabrousse.
Je suis tout d'abord un ancien dans l'église.
First of all, I am one of the leaders in the Church of Cabrousse.
Je suis un responsable qui prêche la parole.
I am one of the leaders that preaches in the church.
Et j'enseigne, j'encourage.
I also teach, I also encourage the believers.
Parce que l'église est remplie de non-alphabètes.
The church is full of those who are illiterate, who cannot read for themselves.
Parce que notre langue n'est pas écrite.
Our language here in Cabrousse is not written down.
Donc au Sénégal, nous étudions le français.
So in Senegal, those who go to the school learn in French.
Donc pour mieux apporter le message à ceux-là qui n'ont pas été à l'école, qui n'ont pas étudié le français, c'est difficile.
So in order to share the message of God to those who have not learned, who do not understand French, it's very difficult.
Donc c'est pour cela qu'on est appelé à travailler dans la langue.
That's why we are called to work with the language to get it written down.
On a déjà créé l'alphabet.
We've already written down the alphabet.
Qu'on appelle l'alphabet Kerak.
And the language is called Jolakerak.
Donc, on a déjà écrit quelques livres.
We've already written several primers, literacy primers.
Nous sommes en train de faire la traduction d'un livre pour commencer l'enseignement.
And currently we're working on an instructor's guide on how to teach literacy using these primers.
L'équipe est vaste. Il y a ceux-là qui sont en Allemagne.
The team working on the literacy project is large. There are some who are in Germany.
Ils n'ont pas pu continuer ici à cause de l'éducation de leurs enfants.
It was a family who came, learned the language, but were not able to stay because of the education of their children.
Mais nous travaillons toujours avec eux aussi, avec l'Internet, avec Zoom.
But we're able to still work with them thanks to the internet and Zoom.
Et il y a un autre couple aussi qui est au nord de Dakar.
There's another couple who lives up north near the capital, Dakar.
Et nous travaillons aussi ensemble.
And we're working with them as well.
Et je suis ici nous sommes là avec un autre couple aussi missionnaire.
And I'm working here in Cabrous with another couple, missionary couple here in Cabrous.
Donc, et voilà notre ministère, c'est l'alphabétisation et la traduction de la Bible dans le Jolakerak.
So my ministry is working on the literacy materials and working towards the translation of the Bible into Jolakerak.
Voilà, merci beaucoup et God bless you.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. And my ministry is very different. Since I'm still learning the language, Jolakerak, I'm not yet able to really help much. I do hope to get to the point where I can speak well enough, maybe not perfectly fluently, but at least be able to help encourage the ladies. As he said, because they are illiterate, they cannot read for themselves, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. They tend to include cultural aspects into their understanding, or they mix it with false teachings from what they'd heard, but they're not able to study for themselves. So I would like to do that, but my primary ministry is helping missionary families. I am the educational consultant for the field of West Africa for Ethnos 360. We are based in Senegal, as Senegal tends to be much more stable a country. However, our mission also has missionary families in Guinea, Liberia, Burkina Faso, and Ivory Coast. The family in Ivory Coast, their children are older, so I just keep in contact with them, although I'm not really advising them, just encouraging them, seeing how it's going from time to time. Whereas the other families, I have visited them, and sadly in these last couple of years, it's been a challenge. Many of those families went on home assignment or furlough and are just returning. I was able to see most of those families who are not serving in Senegal in October when there was a workshop in Dakar, and I was a part of that. And I was able to check up on them, see how things were going. However, I would really like to visit those families if possible. There are many reasons. There are political reasons. There is also with COVID, the coronavirus, it has made traveling internationally very difficult, as there are many more requirements, and timing is very difficult with testing, and sometimes the location is hard to get to, and with international flights, timing is very challenging. Sometimes flights are canceled. So I am specifically praying about one family who is in Guinea. I was able to talk to them in October. They've just moved in and settled into a new village context. They're learning the language. But their village is very hard to get to. It would be a multiple day trip just to get to them, to visit with them, to observe how homeschooling is going, and then a multiple day trip return with many challenges. And with all the settling in, they were not ready to have visitors. So I'm praying about whether it's the right time to visit them, if they're ready. If not, also internet's a challenge, so I can send messages and it can be a while before I hear back from them. If not, we have our field missionary conference in July. Then hopefully I'll be able to catch up with them, touch bases, see how it's going. Typically during these field conferences or workshops where many families are together, I also try to do any testing. Sometimes that could be reading testings, that could be reading readiness testing for 5 and 6-year-olds. That could be slightly more intensive, a standardized test to see if there are weaknesses. That's a very involved multiple day test, so that doesn't happen very often. Along with testing, I also, like I said, I go and visit families, and that's beneficial because it allows me to see their context. I can see what distractions they have, what challenges, timing, what fills their days, what might cause them to feel discouraged. Sometimes the wife can feel very alone. She feels the burden of the education of her children. She doesn't have many close friends, if any. She doesn't speak the language. She's not able to get out and socialize. So many challenges, and the children, they get distracted. There's always coming and goings, and just timing. It helps to see their context so that when I'm not there and they have questions, I can better answer their questions. For example, one mom was asking about her child who was getting distracted all the time, but I had seen that there were children constantly coming in and out from their house. And so one advice was to set limits of when children could come and visit, because it was too hard for her child to ignore the visitors when he should have been learning. Another one is I have a mom who asked for advice on curriculum. Her health is not very good. She's Canadian, her husband's Italian. They live in a very remote context, and she was asking if there's a curriculum that would not require a lot of prep time. Her children are young, elementary, would not require teaching the entire day. So I go through my resources to see what I know, and if I can't find the answer, then I try and contact those that I know who might know better than I do. So I'm not the one who knows everything, but hopefully I'm freeing up those parents, instead of them trying to contact multiple people or searching online when internet might not be great. They can ask me, and then I go online, I contact people, I try and find the answers and free them up, and then give them options and advice. Also, there's a son, he was sick, just has a lot of challenges, reading, math, science, and the mom was asking me how she could change what she's doing to help him better, to teach him independence and yet make sure that he's still learning. So those are some of the challenges that these missionary moms face, these missionary families face. Another part of my ministry is acting as liaison with the mission, Ethnos 360 in the U.S. There is a team in the U.S. who tries to help families. They prepare families before they head overseas. Their goal is to help the family as a whole, the children as a person, as an entire person, not just education, but also physical, mental, during transitions, difficulties. And so they ask me for advice or what works for families here in West Africa, and then they will share that with families who are interested in going overseas. And also, when families ask me questions and I don't know the answer, I can ask them, the team in the U.S., and they will go through their resources and try to help me help these families. So it works both ways. We work together as a team, and thankfully, because of technology, We can have Zoom meetings, and even though I've not been there in person for several years, I've been able to have these conferences or these meetings several times a year. And another benefit is now with these internet meetings, it opens it up for all educational consultants with our mission in the Philippines and Papua New Guinea and Mexico, Brazil, Canada, US, all over. And we bring up our challenges, and then we encourage each other, and we can also offer tips and advice that we've found works for us. One thing, I try hard to help connect our families. They live in pretty remote locations, and they can feel kind of alone, isolated. And one idea that came up in our collaborative meetings internationally was to ask each family to send in a photo or to send in some information, and then to pull it together and to share it with the other families. And then they all get to enjoy seeing a little bit of the lives of everyone else, and the families have really enjoyed that. So that's just one little way of trying to connect our families. Also, when we have workshops or field conferences, we have children's programs to allow the children to be together and learn together, enjoy each other's company. So that's a little bit of my ministry. I mentioned that I have not been back in person with the team in the U.S. for several years. A couple of prayer points for us. At the end of May, it will be 5 years since I've been back to the States, and typically a term is 4 years. And the mission has been very gracious in letting me stay on and continue my ministry just like normal. But at the same time, we are really feeling the length of time, and we are praying that Martin submitted his paperwork for his green card back in 2019, and because of circumstances, it's been delayed. The final step we're waiting for is his green card interview, and we are praying that we will get that soon, that he will be accepted, that he will get his green card, and that we will be able to go back to the States soon together. If that doesn't happen soon, we will need to consider what else, but we're really praying that he would get his green card, that we can go back to the States together. We can see you, we can visit with all of our friends and family who have been praying for us, been supporting us. And also I mentioned another prayer point. I would really like to visit this one family in Guinea, but the logistics are very difficult. One, I've contacted the family, and due to internet challenges, I've not yet heard back from them. That would be the first starting point. But we appreciate your prayers. We appreciate so much your encouragement. Love when we get the Christmas cards. Your Christmas gift has been so encouraging each year. We know that you are there behind us, supporting us, and we really appreciate that. And we hope that you have a wonderful missions month in March. Wish we could be there in person, but we're praying that you have a wonderful month, and we're praying for you. And though we don't contact everyone personally, we do sometimes see emails or posts, and we enjoy getting the newsletters from the church, and it lets us know how better to pray for you all. So God bless, and have a wonderful morning.
See you.
I like all the bird chirping. Well, that'll be our last mission thing. Next Wednesday, we will have someone up here preaching, sharing a message. We'll go back to that, have our prayer time, and then we'll have a in-person message. And you say, well, who's going to do it next Wednesday? You have to come and see. I don't, I hope you can be with us. God bless you. You're dismissed.